Last time on the podcast.
But, I'll say my predictions versus Celtics. But just in general, just how I felt during that series, seeing Jimmy Butler, I feel like he's starting to take that next step, and he wants to show that he's a championship player. Like I said, if they can consistently score in the 105s, 110s, they're gonna be tough to beat because their defense, the Heat. Dank Father.
Got Boston in 6. I think it's Boston time right now. They just dethroned the champions. I think they on the high right now, playing great basketball. I think they're taking the next step, man. Tatum taking the next step. Brown is there to complement 1 and 1A. Horford coming in. He's like the second, third option.
Yeah.
They got quality players like Derek White.
Can't forget Marcus Smart, man. Can't forget.
Yeah, nah,
Marcus Smart been playing great.
It's like Draymond Green.
In a way, in a way.
Guard form,
for sure.
Guard
for sure.
form.
That's like, you know what I'm saying?
Guard form, that's a fact.
For sure.
They got different pieces as well, but I think Boston. I think they got the best player on the floor.
Jason Tatum.
Hands down.
Like I said, man, 2 elite wings. I think they're coming into their own.
Coming with leadership too. Like I said, he brings the tangibles. He brings things that don't come into the box score for sure.
I got Boston in 6, man.
All right, so it's down to me. So for the record, like I said in the past, these are 2 teams I despise. I hate both of them. So I'm gonna go with Boston at 7. I think like you said, it's a little bit of their time. And similarly to the way last year the Bucks kept, having the best record in the league. The Celtics, they lost, like I said, in the bubble to the Heat. They went to the finals. They ended up losing to the Bucks. Things like that. They've been inching closer.
Couple conference finals.
Even dating back all the way to Jason Tatum as a rookie.
Yeah,
Going to the, you know what I mean? So the fact that they've been going so close, they've been inching closer. But yeah, like you said, when you have the two dogs in the Jason Tatum and the Jaylen Brown, and then you say the stabilizer and Al Horford, the Marcus Smart, who's like you said playing the Draymond Green role, who's giving you defense every now and then, giving you 20. Getting those extra possessions, those little cheap 50-50 balls, that sways games. And like you said, it's the Heat scoring. That's where I'm not sure if they're gonna, because the Boston Celtics can play good defense as well. But he did just flash on the screen. X factor is Victor Oladipo. If Victor Oladipo can average 17 to 21 points. The Miami Heat might be working with something. But the reason why I went straight to Victor Oladipo is because, Jimmy Butler, we're expecting him to, continue the play he's had.
Okay, he do this against his defense.
The Celtics, he's going, I'm pretty sure they're going to start off with Jaylen Brown on him, either Jaylen Brown or Marcus Smart. It's going to be interesting because the Miami Heat, they have some names that you're like, man, like the Strus guy.
Yes, of course.
And then the Vincent guy, like playing big minutes for him. But I'm still going to go Boston Celtics in 7. All right, well, we got all Celtics. As you can see, we didn't plan this in. It's all authentic. We ain't cheating the people. So we all picked the Celtics. It is what it is.
And I got Tatum winning the first ever Larry Bird Eastern Conference Finals.
That's the topic for another day. Happy Memorial Day. Salute to all the soldiers out there. We're here for you. We appreciate the service. We're coming after the day after the Miami Heat Boston Celtics series concluded in Game 7, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a little green with envy, seeing that the Boston Celtics were able to pull it out. But let me not get too far ahead of myself. So in the clip that we just played, I said that the Miami Heat, if they scored in the 110 to 115 range, that they would be hard to beat, and they would probably win the series. So Game 1 was 118-107 Heat win. Game 2 was 126-102 Celtics. Game 3, 109-103 Heat. Game 4, 102-82 Celtics. Game 5, 93-80 Celtics. Game 6, 111-103 Heat. Game 7, 196 Celtics. So again, all of them were hovering around that 110, 115 range. And if the Heat were able to consistently reach that level, they would have won the series. So it's crazy, like we said, the scoring woes. And it feels good to say, like I said, I knew coming in that was the range they had to go in, because I knew their defense would hold you to about 100. And again, they held them under 100. Well, they held them under 105 4 times. So again, if they were able to match that point total, the 110, 115, they would have won. I have with me one and only
Dank Father
and myself, Master Bruce CB, here to cover for you. So it was a really entertaining series. As the clips played, I had the Celtics in 7. You had the Celtics in 6, correct?
Nah, yeah, I had the Celtics in 6.
So we did both think the Celtics were going to win. What was your overall reasoning of thinking that going into the series?
I think the Celtics just found themselves, man. What they did to Brooklyn in the first round, swept them up out of here. Got those guys up out of here fast.
Only team, still to this moment, only team to be swept.
Yeah, that's a fact. What they did against the Bucks, granted no Middleton, they still got the championship pedigree.
It's not just about you got to play who's on the schedule. It's not
that's
just,
a fact.
Yeah, for sure.
Tough 7-game series, and they showed greatness, man. They showed that they showed me at the time that they arrived, and that's what made me go with them over the Miami Heat. I think it's kind of I was kind of looking at it like a little brother, big brother thing. They spanked them in 20, and I thought it was 2 years later. I thought the little brothers would come in and get the job done. So that's why
I got some hair in their chest.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Now they're ready to throw some blows back. Definitely.
So yeah, I had the Celtics in 6.
I agree. I thought Celtics in 7. Again, more so because I felt I really respected what Jimmy Butler was doing. I saw that. At least I felt, as we spoke to, would he be able to keep his numbers up? Would he be able to keep the pace? And he has. I did respect just the way the deepness of the team. For Tyler Hero not to play 3 games and them still take it to 7 games, it shows the Struces of the world, Vincent, Oladipo coming off the bench. He didn't quite have the impact that I said he might have needed for them to win, but I knew their team was good enough. They had enough championship ingredients. Obviously, they didn't have exactly what they needed to get to the finals, but I do think they had a lot of championship ingredients. PJ Tucker, the Kyle Lowrys who we're gonna have to touch on at some point. The Kyle Lowry, I thought they were gonna give more. So, but I didn't think they would be enough to beat the Celtics. The 2 young guys plus the team around them.
Championship caliber players.
Yeah, they're there. So let's go ahead to game 1.
So Miami won game 1, 118-107. Boston was up 13 in that up 13 in that game at one point.
Okay.
Tatum 21 in the first half out of his 29 points out the whole game.
Started strong, started hot,
Started
the
strong.
series.
No, that's a fact. Started strong. And then Miami came on in the third quarter, man, and outscored them 39-14. Oh, before we even continue, no Marcus Smart, no Horford in this
game 1. Yeah, I remember that was a shocker. That was a shocker
big.
right before.
That was big for the Celtics not to have them. But back to the third quarter woes of the Celtics. Yeah, 39-14. They were 1 for 12 on contested shots and 2 for 15 overall in that third quarter, which was the worst quarter that they had in the last 4 seasons.
Wow.
The Celtics.
They
ended up falling behind as much as 20.
Fought back though.
In that third quarter, little break. My bad. Yeah. Jimmy Butler, historic game, man. Since steals and blocks have been recorded in 1974, no one in NBA history has recorded this stat line: 41 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. So, Jimmy Butler, man, I have my questions about Miami. I have my questions about Miami, but I also have my questions about Jimmy Butler.
If he was able to take the next step as a scorer.
Yeah. And he definitely showing that he take the next step. So big up to Jimmy Butler. Tyler Hero, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Big in the game 1. Vincent coming through contributing, 17 points. Strauss had 11 points for a non-shooting. Yeah, man, Miami came out this game. I kind of felt Boston was a little hungover from the tough series against
little beat up
from the Milwaukee series, but Smart, no Horford,
and the Heat were able to rest since they won in 6.
Spanked the Sixers in 6. Yeah, I was about to say 5, but it was 6. That's a fact. But Tatum 29 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists in this game. Brown 24, 10 and 3, and Robert Williams 18 and 9 in this game.
Big production. I remember saying that he should be able to play since he sat out the last 3 versus the Bucks.
So it was a good game until the third quarter when Miami bursted it open, and they ended up getting game 1.
Yeah, I definitely in that game 1 watching it, like you said, I kind of felt like the Boston, they wanted to come out with a big punch, but they didn't. Like the almost like after they saw the Heat were ready to take that punch and weather the storm, the Heat came and they protected home court.
Nah, that's a fact. They came out strong, man. Like I had my questions about them offensively, and they definitely put up some big numbers in this game, in game 1. All right, so let's get to game 2. Boston comes back. Smart plays, Al Horford plays, and they win 127-102.
With the troops back.
Nah, that's a fact. It was a blowout from the beginning. Halftime, it was 70-45. I remember watching this game, and I was telling a couple guys I was watching the game with that. Were we watching the game together? Game 2, I don't really remember. But whoever I was watching with, I told them maybe about 6 minutes into the second quarter that they wouldn't even reach 50 points before halftime, and I was correct.
We were watching together.
Marcus Smart, man, we got to give him his flowers, man.
Coming back from the injury, missing game 1. There's been a lot of questions about him offensively, and he's really stepped it up this year. He messed around and almost had a triple-double. Uh-oh. So saying it was a good day.
Nah, it was a good day.
Okay. Marcus Smart coming to
Definitely
play.
a good day. First Celtic with 20 points, 10 assists, and 3 steals since Rajon Rondo.
I remember Rajon was getting in that bag. And remember, again, in the clip, I said Marcus Smart can mess around and get you 20. He's Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
But if he's feeling it on a night, he can mess around and get you 20.
Celtics were 12 for 15 off of his passes.
Man.
Yeah, 12 assists. That's huge. I'm thinking the game's slowing down, and he's seeing that he can use his athleticism in certain parts.
He's starting to see that he doesn't have to score to be effective. That's what I tell all if any young players and old players, even if you have to play in pickup games, you do not have to score the basketball to be effective. You can set screens, you can get rebounds, you can make assists. You can still affect the game without putting the ball in the hole.
Yeah, man, the Celtics came out strong this game.
And I wanted to make a point too in my video when I was doing the Knicks on YouTube, Master Bruce CB. When I was making the Knicks lottery video, I was talking about that's when the news broke mid the lottery. When you go into game 1 without 2 starters, and of course you're expected to lose. But when those guys come back, you get a jolt in the arm because you get to say, hey, look, we competed without these guys. And these aren't just 2 random players, 2 guys at the end of the bench. They're 2 starters. Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year. Yep. Like we said, Al Horford, the elder statesman of the team, heart and soul. These are big pieces. So you just add them back, you're able to win that second game. It's tied up 1-1 going back to Boston. You totally change the dynamic of the mindset, the psyche of really both teams.
That's a fact. Speaking of Smart being a Defensive Player of the Year, he were 3-11 when guarded by Smart, and they were 2 for 9 guarded by Al Horford. So
big additions. Those are big.
And Al Horford also forced 4 turnovers when guarding a Miami Heat player. So you see those 2 pieces were very big that they missed in game 1. Brown had a solid game, 24 points, 8 rebounds. 3 assists. Tatum had 27, 5, and 5. He scored 17 in the second quarter. Grant Williams, 19 and 4. Big minutes, big production.
See, and that when you do stuff like score 17 in that second, you're putting a stamp on the game. You know, you're putting a stamp on the game and letting the team know that we're here. Because what did he end with? He said 17 in the second. What did he end with?
27.
So again, doesn't really matter when those other 10 points came. Is that second quarter he basically kept them afloat, led the charge by himself. So that's a big factor, something to think about.
Yeah. So the Miami Heat, Butler had 29, 6 and 3. Oladipo had a solid game. Got to the free throw line 10 times, 9 out of 10. Hero with 11. Bam Adebayo, 29 minutes, 6 points, 9 rebounds. That's a big question mark there. He's got to give more production. The Heat shot 44 from the field, 29 from 3. They were 10 for 34, so that really bit them in the back.
Yeah.
73% from the free throw.
Yeah.
That was tough. 14 turnovers. The rebound battle pretty even. Celtics shot 50 from the 3, 51 from the field, 91% from the free throw line. They only missed 2 free throws. So overall, good game for the Celtics. And my question marks about the Heat again, offensive woes. You see, they didn't even put up 50 points. And at halftime, teams are creeping. Some teams are dropping 40 points in the first quarter, flirting with it. 37, 38 points, and they couldn't even get 50 in the first half. So that was my question mark about the Heat moving forward in the playoffs. If they struggle to score some games, so that's why I didn't really pick them to win this series.
Understandably. So let's move on to Game 3. So Game 3 was a very, very interesting game. When you look at the box score, it's one of the most interesting playoff games I've seen in a long time. So Game 3 was 109-103 Heat. It was a game Jimmy Butler did go down to injury in the game. To pick up the slack, Bam Adebayo did have a great game. 31, 10, and 6. 4 steals. With that stat line. Of course, I can't find the stat. With that stat line, the centers to have 30-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, and 4 steals in a game. Bam Adebayo, Moses Malone, Big Patrick Ewing, Dave Cowens, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it twice, and Kareem Abdul did it 3 times. So Bam Adebayo with elite company in this game. PJ Tucker had 17 and 7, 3 steals. Strus had 16. Game 2, the Boston Celtics did squander an all-time great playoff game. Jaylen Brown had 40 points on 70% shooting, 14 of 20 from the field, 14 of 14 from 2. Became the first Celtic ever to score 40-plus points on 70% or better from the field. Jason Tatum had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists on 3 of 14 shooting with 6 turnovers.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown had 7 also. So
Yeah.
13 between the big two.
Yeah, that's tough. Marcus Smart had 16 and 7. So another game where he was showing his point guard ability.
Yeah, he also had 4 turnovers.
Al Horford had 20 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks. So another big game from Big Al. So this is where we start getting into the box score. So the Heat took 22 more shots. They were 43 of 92 for 46% from the field. The Heat were 34 of 70 for 48% from the field. The Heat were 11 of 33 from the three-pointers. Celtics 12 of 32. So 3-pointers pretty much the same. Now, this is where it starts getting really bizarre. The free throws battle, the Heat shot 85%, 12 of 14 from the field. The Boston Celtics shot 16 more free throws than them in this game. 23 of 30 for 76%. And the Celtics out-rebounded them by 10, 44 to 34. Basically all on defense. They out-rebounded by 10, basically on 10 on defense. Assists were the same, 21 to 22 to 21. The steals, they had 19 steals. An NBA record, NBA playoff record. 19 steals to 2. The Heat had 19 turnovers to 24 for the Celtics. That's basically the game right there.
Yeah.
19 steals, 24. That's pretty bad. And like you said, out rebounding pretty much again. The game came down when you have 19 steals. It's pretty hard to lose. 24 turnovers to a team's 9. The Celtics usually have a more efficient offense, more fluid offense. And, it's frustrating to see that they don't. Well, in that game, they were definitely frustrated by the Heat's defense.
Yeah.
But again, that was a close game for them to play that great a defense, and it's still the struggle. Like their struggles to score, it does highlight for them to, for them to have that many turnovers and still lose by 7. That's tough.
Yeah, Marcus Smart had a little Paul Pierce moment in this game.
Oh yeah, that's.
Had a little Paul Pierce moment.
And everyone knows the Paul Pierce moment. It's the moment when he, against the Lakers, where he went off in a wheelchair, then came back to hit a 3, and
which he later on came out and said that he had to take a
number 2. He had to drop a deuce. He really just had to drop a deuce.
So that was great theatrics on Paul Pierce, but
much respect.
Much respect to Bam Adebayo also in this game.
That's a big game. He stepped up. Like I said, Butler went down and didn't play the whole second half.
Yeah.
So Bam Adebayo stepped up.
16 in the first half, matching his total from his first 2 games combined.
Yeah, lit a fire. A fire was definitely lit. He knew what he had to do. He came to play, and like I said, much respect to the young brother. So moving on to Game 4. 102-82 Boston. Jason Tatum had 31, 8, and 5 on 8 of 16 shooting, 30 plus 37. Brown had 12 and 7 on 5 of 20 shots. Al Horford had 5 of 13, 3 steals, 4 blocks. Williams had 12 and 9. White, who we haven't mentioned yet, had a big series. In this game, he had 13, 8, and 6 with 3 steals. He was a big X factor.
Yeah.
We didn't mention the fact that when Marcus Smart was out, he did start. As well as just, since Marcus Smart was injured, he's, been asked to play a bigger role than when, I'm sure they expected when he got there.
Payton Pritchard had a solid game as well.
14, correct?
Yeah, 14 points.
So, a lot of guards are stepping up for him in that game. Really, really respect to them. But when you look at the Heat, they really laid an egg in this one. No starter was in double figures. I'm going to repeat that.
That's tough.
No starter was in double figures. Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo combined for 15 on 6 of 19 shooting. Oladipo, he did have 23 on 7 of 16 shots, 4 of 7 from 3.
Got to the line 8 times, 5 out of 8 in 30 minutes.
4 rebounds, 6 assists. Robinson had 14 points on 4-8 shooting. I actually thought that was the breakout game for Robinson. I remember talking about it.
Yeah.
I remember saying in this lost game, even though they got blown out, I was thinking that maybe that would be, the game that kind of turned them up, that kind of lit a fire on them, gave them a chance to, reawaken, find itself in the box score. I was wrong. That did not spark a fire. And again, it's weird to me when I see a team get blown out. They lost by 20, but they took 12 more shots. They were 30 of 90 for 33% from the field. The Celtics were 31 of 78. Think about it. The Celtics won by 20 points and they only made 1 more shot.
Man, I don't think you're going to win in the game when you miss 60 shots.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
That's tough.
They actually
82 points in the total. Offensive woes
absolutely
showed their ugly head again.
Absolutely insane. And then from the 3-point line, they were plus 6 from the 3, made 14 of 36 to Boston's 8 of 34. But the free throw line again, the Boston Celtics were plus 24 from the free throw line. They were 32 of 38 for 84%. Boston was 8 of 14 for 57%. The rebounds again they were a plus 21 on the rebounds, a 60 to 39, and then plus 17 on defensive rebounds. So they're finishing the defensive possessions. They're not just getting good closeouts, good shots. Yeah. They're finishing it with the defensive possession.
11 blocks by the Celtics. That's
11 and 2. Again, and then points in the paint, 38 to 28. The Heat never led in this game. That's tough. Again, when you get to a playoff game 4, that's pretty pivotal.
Yeah, trying to go up 3-1, possibly. They definitely laid an egg.
So get to game 5, and everybody knows game 5 is always a swing game. It's usually the game that usually determines the winner in a series a lot of times. The Celtics were able to win 93-80. Brown had 25 on 10 and 19 shots, 5 and 9 from the 3, was a plus 20. Tatum had 22, 12 and 9, was one assist shy of a triple-double. Al Horford was 16, 7 and 5, 2 blocks. White again with a big game, 14-5 with 2 steals. They had a pretty efficient game. Played really efficient basketball. Bam, again, in this game, so last game, game 4, no starter for the Heat. That was in double figures. In this game, no starter had a positive plus minus. Hard to win many playoff games like that. Bam had 18, 10 and 5. Butler had 13, 6 and 4, 2 steals, 4 of 18 shooting. Lowry had 0 points.
In 25 minutes, 0 for 6.
In a pivotal game 5, that's terrible. The starters only outscored the bench by 2 points. That's really insane.
Yeah, man. The offensive woes again, man. Miami, they got to figure something out moving forward.
They need another shot creator.
Yeah.
Because again, let's go back to they shot 23 more shots and lost by 13. That's hard. That's hard to even wrap your brain around. Like, how are you taking that many more shots? You're being you're being more aggressive. They were 33 of 71. Well, I'm sorry. The Celtics were 33 of 71 with 46.5% shooting. The Heat were 30 of 94 for 31%. So this time they missed 64 shots.
4 shots.
Man, you're missing
60% from the 3-point line. That's
7
tough.
of 45. Now again, there's no hero in this game, correct?
Yeah, no hero in this game.
I mean, but come on. But the Celtics really didn't shoot great from the 3-point either. They were only 10 for 33. The free throws, 17 for 23 for the Celtics, 13 of 14 for the Heat. Rebounds, 46-49. That's pretty even. Celtics had a bit more assists, 24 to 14. But this was a game where the Celtics they were just way more efficient offensively.
Yeah.
They got the shots they wanted, got to the free throw line at just a slightly better clip. They just ran their offense and did their thing.
Along with good defense as well.
Yeah, and that's why, like I said, you take a look at the Celtics, and that's the type of game I really expected from them. Well-oiled, they're just doing their
machine,
thing.
the 2-headed monster.
Edit out the well-oiled part and just leave the 2-headed machine.
Yeah.
Two-headed monster for sure. Like you said, 2-headed monster for sure. Yeah, it's phenomenal. But then we get to game 6.
Yeah, game 6, a closeout game. Now, before we get to this game, the day before, the Golden State Warriors closed out the Dallas Mavericks, and Draymond Green and Steph Curry were on Inside the NBA with Ernie and the guys, Shaq, Kenny, Charles.
Shout out Inside the NBA. Shout out.
NBA legends, man. Big salute. And Draymond gave the Heat a little bit of bulletin board material, man. Shaq asked who did they want to play, and Draymond came out and said they were going to play the Celtics.
He was more emphatic than that. He's like, it's not who I want to play, it's who we're going to play.
Yeah, that's a fact. Appreciate that for throwing that in there. But,
he was emphatic about it, and Udonis Haslam even said something about it.
Yeah. So he definitely gave the Heat bulletin board material going into this game. And the Heat won Game 6, 111-103. Jimmy Butler, historic game once again. 47 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals.
Man.
46 minutes in a closeout game.
Only sat 2 minutes. That's big time.
First player since MJ with multiple 40-point and 4 steal games. joins elite company in D-Wade and LeBron James is the most points in a closeout game against the Celtics.
Man, say that again.
He joins an elite company in D-Wade and LeBron with the most points in the closeout game against the Celtics. D-Wade with 46 points in 2010. And we all know the infamous LeBron game, Game 6.
With the stare, facing elimination.
Nah, that's a fact.
Real quick, was that a year after the Mavs situation? That was a year after the Mavs situation,
That was a
right?
year after the
Yeah,
Mavs.
so he was already facing the
lockout year. Exactly 10 years ago as well. Yeah, man, Jimmy Butler, historic game, man. In the last 3 seasons, the most 40-point and 5 assist games. He joins that company. He's in there with 5. Luka has 7. Giannis has 4.
That's amazing.
Shout out to Tommy Beard for that stat.
That's amazing.
Top 7 scoring efforts in elimination games. Shout out to StatMuse. Jimmy Butler's on that list. We got Wilt Chamberlain with the highest 2 with 56 and 53. Sleepy Floyd with 51. Jamal Murray and Wilt tied for 50. Hakeem the Dream with 49. Kevin Durant, the assassin, with 48. And Jimmy Butler with his Game 6 47 performance.
That was impressive, man. He
Real
did.
impressive, man.
He was doing everything he wanted, and like I always said about Jimmy Butler, more than anything, he's a stabilizer. Like he understands when his team needs him to be aggressive. He's an unselfish player. He's not necessarily a high assist guy, but he's an unselfish player. And it's good, like I said, it's good to see guys respond to the moment, respond to, Draymond Green, respond to adversity, and facing elimination.
Miami, they were big defensively in this game. My bad, edit that part out. Here's a stat that stuck out to me. 21 points allowed in the last 3 seconds of the shot clock. That's the most allowed by the Celtics this season.
Man.
That was big, especially in the closeout game. Miami, man. And you see after the game, Haslam had words for Draymond, like you said. I think Boston just dropped the ball this game. They put up a good effort, but Miami really wanted it. They were fighting for their basketball lives this one. And they lived to fight another day. Shout out to Derek White for the Celtics. He had a huge game, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Tatum
Almost was
had
the reason.
30.
Almost helped them come back.
Yeah. 30 from Tatum, 20 from Brown. Good production from Lowry, 18, 4, and 10.
Maybe his best game of the series.
Yeah, best game of the series. Strauss gave them 13 points. I have nothing
Yeah.
to do with the Miami Heat. Matter of fact, edit that part. You can keep it in there. It's good. It's good. Miami, man, they came out strong this game. Jimmy Butler, once again, man, just a big-time player. I have my questions about him, if he could take his game to that next level. And he's making me eat crow, man, because he's definitely elevating his game to that next level.
Speaking of just Jimmy Butler in particular, so Jimmy Butler's regular season stats versus playoff stats, shout out to StatMuse, and shout out for the Bam Adebayo earlier stat, Basketball Reference. We get a lot of stats from you, so shout out to Basketball Reference. But back to Jimmy Butler. So in the regular season, he averaged 21.4. In the playoffs, he raised that to 26.9. So that's a 5.5 point increase. Just before we even go any further, that's pretty damn impressive.
Nah, that is.
Getting almost 3 baskets more a game, that's pretty damn impressive. Rebounds go from 5.9 to 7.3. Steals go from 1.6 to 2.1. Turnovers go from 2.1 down to 1.5. His 3-point percentage went from 48 to 50. 3-point percentage went from 23.3 to 34. And threes a game went from 0.5 to 1.4. So, again, shout out to Jimmy Butler for when the lights were the brightest, he came to play. And like I said, you just got to respect that.
Yeah, some other stats from the game. The Heat shot 46 percent from the field this game, and they didn't miss 60-plus shots. So they definitely gave themselves a chance to win. 43 from the line to Boston's. 43% from the three-point line. To Boston's 33. They shot 96% from the free throw line. They 24 out of 25. Yeah, man, they definitely shot the ball better this game. So as you see, they put up 111 points. So that's what they got to do to win, man. They got to just shoot the ball better and give themselves a chance to win because they're going to be in the game defensively. So it's just for their offense to come along with it. Yeah.
And the game that sent the Celtics to the finals and extended the streak that was on 76 straight years of a former New York Knick making the NBA Finals with Luke Kornet. Doesn't sniff the court. He don't come in a box score. Oh, no, he's on the box score. But yeah, so I guess shout out to Luke Kornet for that, even though that's a stat that I don't really love. But anyway, so Game 7.
Tied 3-3. Pivotal Game 7.
In Miami, the Boston Celtics pulled out 196. Jason Tatum with 26, 10 and 6, a steal and 2 blocks, 9 and 21 shooting. Marcus Smart with a big 24 points on 8 of 22 shooting, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Jaylen Brown at 24, 6 and 6 on 8 of 15 shooting, so he was really efficient. 7-8 from the free throw line. Grant Williams with 11. Udoka went pretty tight with his rotation. Only played 8. Didn't play Theus. Didn't play Tice. I'm sorry. Didn't play Tice. They came to play. Like I said, they shot pretty efficiently. 41% from the field. 34 from 3. 30 from 3 could have been better.
Yeah, 34. But against Miami's 20% from 3.
Exactly.
They got the job done.
Exactly. Miami only shot 42 from the field.
Tough stat right here. Miami lost by 4 and they missed 6 free throws. 67 from the free throw line.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Jimmy Butler with another fantastic game. 35, 9 and assists still on 24 shots, 8-11 from the free throw line. Bam Adebayo 25 and 11, 4 assists. Kyle Lowry 15 and 7, 3 assists, 2 steals. He was I'll be honest, Kyle Lowry, I feel like he had a quieter game than that. 4-12, 1 for 6 from 3. Strus had 8 points, 8 rebounds, 2 of 7 from 3. Hero played, but only 7 minutes, so obviously he wasn't himself. Oladipo was a plus 16 in 33 minutes, but he only had 9 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 4-12 from the field, 1 and 7 from 3. Yeah, it was a tough game. Let's get right down to it. What are your thoughts on that Jimmy Butler last shot?
So they were in the midst of a comeback. Man.
The game looked dead in the water, but they were able to have a furious comeback late. I want to say it went about a 9-0 run. Jimmy Butler gets a rebound.
They were down 2.
Down 2. Jimmy Butler gets the rebound.
And Jimmy Butler gets the rebound and he's bringing the ball down the court and he has Al Horford on him. And he stops and pulls a 3. And he misses it. My thoughts on that play, man.
Was it a bad shot? Should he have drove?
I definitely think he should have drove. Yeah, Al Horford on him. Tatum was on the right wing from Jimmy Butler's perspective, on help defense, and Jaylen Brown was on the other side. But you got Al Horford on you, man, and you're only down 2 points.
I think the
At
biggest
least try to drive and draw the foul. I think a hard
the
drive,
game.
yeah.
So he took the shot with about 21 seconds on the shot in the game clock. The shot clock was off. I think it was a. Again, I allude to on my YouTube. I don't like to be a results-based thinker. I like to look at the process, look at the formula, things like that. I like to see if I don't like to just say, okay, he missed a shot, it was a bad shot. I like to look at the process. The fact that the shot clock was off, the fact that they had a timeout left, that's tough. I feel like he probably could have, like I said, I would either prefer, if he was going to take a shot, like you said, I would like him to drive. He had Al Horford in the back pedal. Now, it's not as easy as people are making it seem, because like you said, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were in somewhat of a help situation. And Kyle Lowry hasn't, like I said, in my perspective, he only shot 4 of 12, so he wasn't having a great game shooting the ball. So if you drive and kick to him, I'm not saying Kyle Lowry can't hit the shot, but it's a little bit of Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? And he wasn't bringing home the bacon. So
that's a fact.
But in his offense, I do also, again, the Boston Celtics are the top defense. So if you call a timeout, you give them a chance to set their defense. But it's not necessarily Jimmy Butler's game. Stop and pop three. Even with the three he took, I feel like he could have jabbed at Horford one more time. Like, even if he takes that same shot, I think he could have jabbed at Horford maybe one more time, freeze him a little bit more, or maybe make him think he's driving a little bit more. That way he can get a little more of a set shot. I think he wasn't on balance when he took that three, making it a little tougher than it necessarily was. So I like it though. I mean, I like the spunk. I like wanting to be the man, wanting to say, hey, listen, I'm the reason we got here. In a lot of ways, I'm the reason why we're even in the Game 7. And a lot of reasons, I'm the reason we came back. So, and like I alluded to, he hit a shot like that against against the Raptors when Kawhi Leonard hit the infamous, the bounce, last second shot. Jimmy Butler, again, I can't remember if it was off a steal or what, but I remember it was a fast break situation and he hit a three to tie it. So, before Kawhi hit that shot, it was tied, and then Kawhi Leonard hit that shot, to win the game. So
he did hit a big three to end game 6 as well to put them up 6.
Yeah, so Jimmy Butler, like I said, he can shoot the ball. He can shoot the ball. Like I said, I alluded to his numbers, but that was definitely tough.
Yeah, I think he could have definitely hit him with a hesitation dribble.
Yeah, that
got to the cup.
That might be a shot that he thinks about in the offseason for a while. He's gonna replay that over and over in his head for a while.
Yeah, I definitely.
But again, here's another thing too. Why I think it wasn't necessarily the best shot, because even if he makes it, they're up 1 and the Celtics have 17 seconds left.
Yeah,
with a timeout. So
you're giving them a chance.
The game isn't over. I probably would have preferred them to, again, even if you didn't want to take a timeout and you want to keep Al Horford on you, dribble it out a little bit, take it down to about 9, go at 9. So in the event you miss a shot, you can still get a rebound. Potentially you get a off the rebound, go back up, or a rebound, kick back out. Infamous to the Chris Bosh rebound to Ray Allen to win that, extend that series. Going back to Heat history.
Yeah.
So it's tough. So what's your last thoughts on the series as a whole?
My last thoughts on this series. Shout out to the Heat. Great organization.
Begrudgingly, but I'm with you.
Great organization. Top flight organization. Man, they're always in the mix, man. If they got players and they're healthy, they're always in the mix.
So they can always attract people with the Miami South Beach.
Yeah.
The weather,
all of that. The
beautiful women.
The scenery. Shout out to them. They put up a good effort, but as our predictions were right, I had it in 6, but you got it right in 7. But it just wasn't enough, man. Offensive woes.
And you were right with the first ever Larry Bird.
Oh yeah,
Eastern Conference Finals
Shout
award.
out to Tatum.
Jason Tatum
winning the first ever Larry Bird Eastern Conference Player MVP.
I said, it just seems like it's just their time.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they're fighting hard. It just seems like they're doing their thing and then fighting hard. They've been going up against it.
Yeah, and they're young too, man. That's why, young brothers, man. Not a Celtics fan, but I can't help but cheer for them. You know, two young black superstars.
And you saw the embrace when they were like, they wanted to break us up.
Yeah. Tatum said they couldn't play together. That puts a highlight on Kendrick Perkins. He had, some strong remarks after the Celtics dropped the game. Our New York Knicks in the regular season that said that Brown and Tatum couldn't play together. Completely false. Shout out to him though. He made the league, but if you know basketball, man, you know it could work with the right pieces, right style of play. You don't break up T-Mac and McGrady. I mean T-Mac and Vince. You know what I mean? It's like it's something like that. Caliber, LeBron, D-Wade. You know?
And like we're saying, that's where the NBA is headed, man.
Yeah.
To
Kawhi,
Paul George, and,
even though they haven't won, but it's still two elite.
Well, that's the idea. That's the idea when they put Kawhi Leonard and Paul George together. This is the idea that they had in mind.
Yeah.
Where you can just put pieces around two guys that can score at any time. They can facilitate. They're unselfish. They can defend, and at least minimum willing defenders. Jaylen Brown's a little ahead in the defensive game, but they said Tatum competes.
It's like that. That's stuff like the MJ and Scotty factor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
elite wings, man. I definitely believe you can get the job done.
So there you have it. That's the Eastern Conference Finals recap. We're gonna come with a finals prediction in a separate video. We already recapped the Western Conference Finals in another video. You can find it on Spotify, Master Bruce CB, as well as YouTube, Master Bruce CB. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Master Bruce CB, Instagram, just Master Bruce. And if you want to find my man,
Dank Father on all social media platforms. Bow.
Like, subscribe, send it to a buddy. Don't hoe us like you don't know us. We appreciate you.